Oh my goodness. Hello, guys. ZESG54 Studios once again. And guess what? Today is the last day of 2025. And this is also the last day I'll be using this profile picture. You know, my MSN whale avatar. So, what I'm going to do in this stream is I'll be discussing my thoughts on the entire year of 2025 overall. I'll be discussing some movies I've watched, some important events, as well as a few other stuff. So, what do I think of 2025? Well, 2025 wasn't a bad year. It was actually a pretty good year for me. Especially the fact that I've, started my university career and I've actually done well at it so far. I mean, it was surely a very different year when compared to, say, the 2024, 2023, or even the rest of the early 2020s. This was like a new beginning or a new chapter. Like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And now seeing time fly by just for 2025 to end is just absolutely crazy. All right. Now, I'll be discussing some things I've done this year. And the good thing is, I have a script to help me. So, yeah. Let's start off with the movies I've watched. So, there are about 5 movies I've watched in 2025. One of them was Nerdja 2, which is a Chinese movie. Jurassic World Rebirth, which I've always wanted to see ever since it was announced. I've seen Zootopia 2, The Bad Guys 2, and of course, the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie. And I gotta say, all these movies, in my opinion, were pretty good. So I'm going to discuss my thoughts on Nerdja. Well, when I first heard of it, I was like, I thought this movie wasn't going to be great, in my opinion. But after watching it, I started thinking, maybe it's a good movie, in my opinion. So yeah, I like Nerdja mainly because of its pretty interesting story, as well as the character arc between Nerdja and his and her is her cousin or is her friend? I'm not sure. I'm not very good with Nerdja lore, guys. It's been a while since I've actually saw the movie. I haven't watched that too often. I mean, if any of you guys watch the Nerdja movies, then just let me know in the chat or stuff like that. Speaking of the chat, make sure you be nice and respectful and no hate comments or inappropriate stuff. Otherwise, So if you guys seen Nerdja 2 and then just let me know. And because yeah, it's been a while since I've watched the movie. I need to go rewatch it so I can get my understanding about what I think happened in the movie. And by the way, I'm not going to spoil what happened in most of these movies. So I'm just going to give out my thoughts without, spoiling most of the stuff. Although I'm only going to spoil only one part. So Nerdja 2 was a pretty good movie. I like the action as well as the pretty interesting characters and the character arcs, especially Nerdja herself. I mean, yes, the only problem I had with my experience with Nerdja is that the movie was completely in Chinese, but at least there's English subtitles though, so I can understand what's going on. But still. Anything else to say about Nerdja? Okay. I also heard that Nerdja was like one of the biggest box office hits of this year. Like, can't you believe it? It grossed like millions of or billions of dollars at the box office. That's crazy, really. All right. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about Jurassic World Rebirth. Now, Jurassic World Rebirth, I'm sure you guys, some of you Jurassic fans might know the story, but, it's about a group of expeditioners who go to an isolated environment near the equator where they have to collect DNA from the 3 largest prehistoric animals in order to find the secret key ingredient that leads to a drug that could extend human lives. And I thought the movie wasn't as bad as what most people make it out to be. It was actually a pretty good movie. I mean, sure, it does have like a few of its flaws, but it's pretty enjoyable actually. I mean, I especially like the scenes where the scenes with the Mosasaurus as well as the Quetzalcoatlus attack scenes. They were pretty cool, and that river raft scene where the Tyrannosaurus just chases some people, where the it chases down our main cast of characters down a river. That was very intense. And by the way, the river raft scene was like a highly anticipated scene that most Jurassic fans wanted to see in one of the Jurassic World movies. It looks like it has come true. And if I'm being honest, that scene was pretty action packed as well. So I think Jurassic World Rebirth was a pretty good movie overall. Sorry about that, guys. I had to do something. But anyways, I think Jurassic World Rebirth would probably get like a 9 out of 10 or maybe 8 out of 10 points for me. Depends on if I realize more of its flaws. All right, now I'm gonna move on to the Bad Guys 2. I'm not gonna talk. I mean, although I did see Zootopia 2 before the Bad Guys 2, I'm gonna talk about Bad Guys 2 first because that came out before Zootopia 2. So yeah, the Bad Guys 2 was actually a pretty good sequel in my opinion. I mean, it showed some pretty nice stories as well as some action-packed scenes involving the main cast of characters. And there are some scenes that were like, pretty cool and epic and intense, especially the space scene. I mean, the bad guys in this movie have to like solve a secret case, and they also have to face off against the bad girls, which consists of Pigtail, Doom, also known as Suzanne, and of course, Agent Kitty Cat, who I was thinking was going to be like the antagonist of the movie. And I gotta say, her actor did a pretty good job at portraying her. I just like when villain characters get portrayed in movies and video games. It makes them pretty interesting. I mean, this movie was great. I gotta say that. I don't know if it's better than the first Bad Guys movie, but it's still a pretty enjoyable movie after all. I'd say it's pretty okay, so I'm probably gonna give it like 8 out of 10 points. All right, now I'm gonna talk about Zootopia 2. And wow, Zootopia 2 was a great movie. I gotta say that. I mean, the story was pretty cool. I like how I just learned the fact that Zootopia wasn't originally founded by a mammal; it was founded by a snake. And I also like the new character Gary the Snake, who is one of my favorite new Disney characters these days. Because not only am I a fan of reptiles like snakes and crocodiles, but I also think, but I also like how Gary was portrayed as a good guy here. Because yeah, like Nick and Judy in the movie were just they're trying to solve a case in the movie about the secret reptile population, as explained by Nibbles the beaver in one of the scenes. I like Nibbles Maple Stick in the movie as well. I mean, she was pretty cute. I especially liked when she was talking to the when she was in the I think it was in the fishing village or something like that, when she was talking to a walrus and she was just like she was blabbering with them. It was just so hilarious. And you get what I mean. Not to mention the new Shakira song called Zoo. was actually pretty catchy. I just loved it when I first heard it. It was like, that's actually better than Try Everything, in my opinion. It just makes me think about all the wild animals across the planet, and maybe I should do a song dedicated to them, or a cover of that song dedicated to all the wildlife on our planet. Because, I've always had a dream of conservating things, or I don't know how to say that. I've always had a dream about, wildlife conservation, stuff like that. So Zootopia 2 gets like I'd say 9.5 out of 10 stars for me. It's pretty good. Or maybe 10 out of 10 actually, because I don't think I've seen any flaws with the movie yet. All right, now I'm going to talk about the last movie I'm going to talk about is the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie. And my god, that movie was really good. I mean, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie was actually scarier than the first movie, I'm being honest. I mean, that was pretty cool. Now, I'm not going to spoil much of the movie because it's pretty recent, but I'm only going to just spoil part of the story that, Abby just wanted to reunite with her friends, which are like the classic animatronics. And then, and when she means her friends, I'm thinking that she was either thinking about the animatronics themselves, or maybe the souls that possess them, or the friends. I think that's what she meant. Correct me if I'm wrong about this. Right. Now I'm going to talk about the animatronic models themselves. They were pretty spot on, I guess. Especially the toys and the Wither animatronics. I'm also kind of surprised that the classic animatronics, including Foxy, have returned. That was pretty cool. I also liked I thought the new voice actor for the toy animatronics, especially Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, and Toy Chica, were pretty okay in my opinion. I was kind of expecting Toy Freddy to have, his ultimate custom night voice where he sounds kind of goofy and, high pitched, I guess. But he had to be given this deep, sinister voice, like, sound like Glam Rock Freddy, but more sinister. But that's because he was voiced by Kellen Goff, one of the who is one of the voice actors that voice Freddy's in the FNAF games. I mean, I give props to Kellen Goff for this. And also Matt Pat voiced Toy Bonnie, I think. I mean, Toy Bonnie's voice was sort of high pitched, I guess. But at least it was not like FNAF AR special delivery, because that voice was pretty bad in my opinion. I mean, because FNAF AR made Toy Bonnie sound like a chipmunk and not an actual rabbit. And Toy Chica's voice, I think, is provided by Megan Fox or something like that. Toy Chica's was okay. I was kind of expecting her to sound kind of like her Ultimate Custom Night voice or FNAF AR special delivery voice, where she was like kind of whispery and, kind of menacing. But instead, we just got like some kind of, robotic voice filtered animatronic, animatronic, I don't know what I was going to say, the southern accent voice. Yeah, that was. But I still like the voice actor overall. I kind of wish the classic animatronics had more voices. But I'm guessing it's probably because they would probably destroy the character if they talked all of a sudden. And maybe the toy animatronics are more advanced than the classic animatronics, I think. Again, correct me if I'm wrong about this. I mean, in the game's lore, the FNAF animatronics are more recent than the toy animatronics, but I'm pretty sure it might be the same case in the movie or the movie universe, or I don't know. Not to mention the jump scares, and while they didn't scare me much when I saw them in theaters, I still thought they were pretty intense. And yeah. So I think Final Fantasy Freddy's 2 movie for me gets like, I'd probably give it a 10 out of 10 stars for this because in terms of, the sets and props and the story and as well as the scary jump scares and here and there, that's pretty cool. All right. Now with that out of the way, I'm going to be talking about some. No, wait. Before I do that, I'm going to mention you about some other movies like the Minecraft movie as well as SpongeBob SquarePants Search for SquarePants. Now, I haven't seen these movies yet, but for the Minecraft movie, I did hear about the infamous chicken jockey trend. It's where whenever the Steve character says chicken jockey, the whole crowd just starts going wild and throwing popcorn and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. That's pretty cool. Maybe I should go watch the Minecraft movie next year in 2026, like maybe on April the 1st or maybe April at least, since that was the month that it came out in. I mean, some of my friends telling me that the Minecraft movie is actually brain rot, and I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know about that. Is it because of chicken jockey or something like that? I think it might be part of the reason why, but still. All right, now let's talk about some important events that have happened in 2025. Now, if some of you guys are watching this, then just be warned because the next thing I'm going to be talking about is pretty dark and honestly kind of disturbing. It's about the Los Angeles wildfires, and oh my gosh. All right, so here we go now. So on January the 7th, some powerful winds and dry conditions created some extremely dangerous wildfires in California. And needless to say, it is really a tragic story when you find out that 25 people have been killed and 12,000 homes were destroyed. I'm not kidding, guys. 12,000 homes were destroyed. This just shows you that 2025 has had a rough start, just like any other year. Man, this is like the Australian bushfires back in 2020. That was crazy enough. But the Los Angeles wildfires, I think, were even crazier in terms like they just wiped out a lot of houses back then. Jesus, that's just crazy, man. But that was just January of this year. So February of this year, I'm going to talk about what happened in February. Like I started to go to university. I did pretty well actually in throughout the entire year, just studying stuff, learning a new language, and doing my music careers. I mean, at least it's not like a school day. It was like we have to go like every single day of the week except for the weekend and go from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Those were tiring enough. And even had to catch a train as well, like from every stop onwards. That was cool. Now I'm going to talk about what happened in March. So I have to say something about this infamous meme, which I can't believe I'm going to mention about this, but it's 6-7. Yeah, just that. Sorry about that, guys. I just had to arrange a few things in my room, but So let's talk about 6-7 a little bit. So back in March of 2024, no, 2025, some video was uploaded to YouTube about the infamous 6-7 meme. I mean, just a kid just at a basketball game just saying that. And that is one of the most annoying memes in my opinion. I mean, what the heck has 6-7 got to do with anything? I mean, some numbers do have their meaning, even like 69 and 65, but 67? What is that meaning? Okay, I heard that some theories suggest that 6-7 means to tell people to go away. And if that's the case, then Right, so this meme actually originated from a rap song called Doot Doot by the artist known as Skrilla, where it mentions the lyrics 6-7, I just bit me on the highway. And it referred to 67th Street in Pennsylvania. But then one kid decided to use the 6-7 mean out of context. All thanks to those TikTok trends, featuring basketball players that are like over 6'7" tall. And then everyone started quoting it. Even South Park quoted the 6-7 thing. And even the Wiggles did it. Just crazy, man. I'm honestly getting sick and tired of, this 6-7 trend over and over again. And I was thinking I wasn't gonna hear this in. I was thinking that I wasn't gonna hear this in real life. Like I was thinking I was gonna hear this in real places like malls or even a movie cinema, and I was right. I need to attack these people for doing this though, because I wouldn't attack anyone for saying 6-7. By the way, I just feel like they were just addicted to that. That's all. I mean, thank gosh I didn't get addicted into it or obsessed with it. In addition to this, I was at McDonald's one time and I was getting a box of chicken McNuggets. And then when I was doing my order number, it showed the number 67. I was like, oh no. And not to mention, I heard some people saying 6-7 like at McDonald's because of this order. I even heard some man or a boy or teenager say that term while I was about to watch the FNAF 2 movie. I was like, oh my gosh, why? So remember, guys, 6-7 is old news. It should be old news now. Leave that running gag in the past, like this year in 2025. I don't want anyone mocking next year by saying like 2026-7 or something like that. Because if they do mock that or make fun of that year, I'm just gonna, lose my mind. All right. Now I'm going to talk about something more positive. So I'm going to talk about the 80th anniversary of Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends, or the Railway series for that matter. So on May the 9th of 2025, the original Down the Mine pilot was surfaced to YouTube on the official Thomas and Friends YouTube channel. And speaking of which, a lot of lost media has been uncovered by Mattel or some other people who worked with the show, especially the new Dustin shorts, which I thought were pretty okay in my opinion. But the Down the Mine pilot was, oh my gosh, that was phenomenal. I watched it myself and I thought it was a great pilot. I mean, it got us some deleted scenes as well as more shots of the pilot models of Thomas and Gordon like never before. And it really calls back to the classic era of Thomas and Friends. Yes, I know there weren't any new Thomas and Friends episodes or other media aside from those in Orange's Go, which may sound a little disappointing, but still. 2025 has been a great time to be a Thomas fan. And not to mention, we've got the new 80th anniversary classic merchandise showing that Mattel knew they had to do something to care about the fans of the classic shows. And considering the death of the legendary Brett Alcroft back in 2024, Mattel had to do something to pay tribute to her. So 2025 was a little bit better than 2022, 2023, and 2024, in my opinion, in terms of what's doing well for Thomas. And I hope the new Thomas and Friends series, which is bound to release sometime next year in 2026, is going to be great. I mean, let's hope it stays true to the source material. And I'm really hoping it is not AI generated, because if it is, I'm going to make another round on this channel about this. I mean, I have another planned rant on this channel I've discussed a few live streams ago called where I'm going to discuss my further thoughts on the Go Anime Grounded series, as well as some other toxic videos in the Go Anime community. Because I'm surprised you guys liked my rant on Grounded videos back in February of this year, which is crazy. Now I'm going to talk about my New Year's resolutions now. So, what I'm going to do for my New Year's resolutions, well, I want to always be very kind next year, as well as focus on my university studies and hopefully get the, one of the bachelors I've planned for, but I'm not going to tell you what it is, guys. It's a secret until now. No, it's a secret until when I get it, okay? Also, I'm planning to do some more videos in 2026, like, I'm going to make like maybe a few more rants or discussion videos, as well as maybe some My City Monsters gaming videos. And when the new Thomas series comes out, I might plan to do a review on it, or maybe a rant. Depends if it's good or not. I mean, I still don't know exactly what 2026 is going to be like yet, because it's only the end of 2025 and soon to be the beginning of 2026. So yeah. So to put this whole thing off, 2025 wasn't a bad year, like I said before. It was a great one for me, as well as Thomas fans, by the way. I mean, sure, it had its like disastrous moments, like the Los Angeles wildfires, but things like the 8th anniversary of the Railway series, as well as my university careers, made this year a heck of an adventure. And I hope I'll get more adventures in 2026. And let's hope that 2026 will be as good, or at least even better than 2025. And I'm looking forward to it. So if any of you guys want to say something in the chat, then that's fine. If not, then might as well just end the stream off early, I guess. Okay, so this was just the first installment of my the late 2020s in review. I'm actually starting this new series, like every end of the year from 2025 to 2029 or something like that. I'm gonna be reviewing what happened in these years and stuff like that. And this is only just the first installment. So when 2026 is done and over with, I'll do another live stream about what happened this year. No, what happened that year. Sorry about my grammar, by the way. I don't know why I tend to stutter and do stuff like that. So. But anyways, so let me know, you guys. So let me know what you thought of 2025. And do you think it was a great year? Do you think it was a bad year? Or you thought it was an okay year? Because I'm really curious to know about it. And apart from that, sorry about that. It was just one of my friends talking to each other on the, one of my friends was just in my room just talking to people in the chat. I'll just ignore them for a bit, because I want to get this live stream done and over. In fact, I'm almost done with this live stream because. Okay, so I think there were many other things I did in 2025, but most of them are pretty personal, so I won't explain them all in this live stream though. Sorry guys, but anyways, looks like we're gonna wrap up this live stream, and I hope to see you all again in 2026. Yes, let's hope for the better next year in 2026. And with that being said, this is ZESG54 Studios signing off and saying Happy New Year to all of you guys. Yeah, that's right. Happy New Year to all of you guys. See you all next year where we'll be doing some more adventures and more videos on this channel. See you guys next year.